DogHouseSystems.com. This is the DogHouse Podcast.
It's Friday, August 2nd, 2024, and you are listening to the DogHouse Podcast. I actually suppose you could call this the reboot of the podcast because back in 2009, early 2009, we started the show that actually ran for about 5 years. But here we are today. We're going to be doing version 2 of this, if you will. And today I have Abby and Lorenzo joining me on the show. Welcome to the show, guys.
What up?
Hello. Thank you.
Glad you guys are here. So, yeah, again, going back 15 years ago, we did do the podcast. We recorded quite a few episodes that spanned over about 5 to 6 years. And we had a really good time doing the shows. But as time went on, things got a lot busier. And just at the time, it was getting more and more difficult for us to find the free time to record. But since then, we've continued to stay busy. But with us now having Abby on board with us as a full-time marketing manager, and along with some planned time management, we've slotted out time once a week to record this podcast. And actually, at this point, I'm going to turn this over to Abby to explain the segments that we are going to be covering in this and future podcasts.
Basically, it's 3 different segments. We're going to be covering our thoughts and kind of rundown of some industry news and bite-sized news. Then Lorenzo is going to help out with our tech talk zone, and all of his technical expertise will come in handy. And then our gamers corner is where our lovely audience will be able to send in their questions and be able to reach out to us.
Awesome. Yeah. And speaking of which, we'll mention it at the end of each of the podcasts. But if you guys are interested with any questions that you might have, anything you'd like to share with us, be it on the gaming side of things, or even if you have technical questions, and that's where we quite honestly had a lot of fun. And I felt like really good success on the show side of things where folks could reach out to us on technical questions that they might have. That's why we have Lorenzo sitting in the seat here with us. He knows a lot when it comes to that kind of stuff. And so you guys will be in good hands. And the ways that you could reach out to us would be to call and just simply leave a voicemail. That number's 214-810-4347. Or you can email us at podcast@doghousesystems.com. Leave us an email there, and we'll be sure to read it on a future podcast.
Or you can DM us on Instagram, Facebook, or X at DogHouse Systems.
Perfect. So that being the case, let's move on. And I guess that would be the industry news. What is the name of that segment?
Bite-sized news.
Bite-sized news.
All right.
So I'm guessing y'all remember the CrowdStrike shutdown.
Yes.
What was it? 2 weeks ago, week and a half ago, roughly?
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot more news coming out of it. According to some articles, CrowdStrike's reporting that it wasn't a security incident or a cyber attack. They have no idea what it was. According to some other fun facts, nearly 18,000 flights were delayed. Banks across the world had their payment systems shut down. News outlets in Australia weren't able to get back in the air. And it was just kind of a disaster for them.
Ouch.
Now, their shareholders are suing them. According to the Austin federal courts, they have filed a suit claiming that they were defrauded in how they did not show that the software was working well, that the testing, they said, this software works great. We're doing great. Here's all of our great numbers. But then it crashed and the shareholders were like, okay, so this isn't good anymore. And the U.S. House leaders are calling for the CEO of CrowdStrike to testify before Congress about their role in the shutdown.
Lorenzo, you have some insight on that as well.
Yeah. So most of this info is coming. Well, a little bit of it is we actually had a customer call in first thing that morning to try and get their system back up and running. So thankfully, actually, one of the engineers, and I forget the post was on X originally, forget the engineer's name, but they posted a fix, and that is to log in, open System32 drivers, CrowdStrike, and delete a specific sys file. We did that, and the system was back up and running within about 5 minutes. There's a really great channel, Dave's Garage, hosted by Dave Plummer, a former Microsoft software engineer, actually dove a little deeper into why that is. So the CrowdStrike Falcon sensor, which is what caused the issue, is signed by Microsoft as a driver. That doesn't update. That wasn't the root cause of the issue. The root cause is that .sys file, which is a definition file that they can update outside of the driver, but still is called by that kernel level system driver. So that could be updated at any time, and it seems like that is what the issue was. That was updated. The driver wasn't updated. So by deleting that sys file, your system's back up and running. But it raises a couple questions as to how Windows handles something like this. So if your system just doesn't work, do you want your system to ignore a driver that's running at the kernel system level and just boot up normally? Or do you want it to not work? Is it sort of not a bug, but a feature at that point? Yeah. Or do you want your system to basically be inoperable until someone can get to and fix it? And I think that's a question a lot of probably sysadmins are asking themselves right now. Yeah. After seeing this, that something remote could take down entire operations. But Windows, from the looks of it, worked as intended, and Falcon worked as intended, but just stopped itself from letting Windows boot up. This is kind of an odd situation to be in, where the product worked, but a little too well, and just those checks, I guess, weren't done. Yeah.
Exactly. And the ramifications that spread beyond it, because obviously we had one customer, you were able to get them back up and running very quickly. Right. Kudos to them, actually, for getting the fix out there publicly as fast as they did. So thankfully it wasn't a vulnerability that like ransomware or something that caused everything to go down. But then you look at, other companies, how they slogged through this, like Delta. It took them 3-4 days to be able to get, the flights back online fully. So for huge organizations that might be spread out everywhere, this turned into a pretty big nightmare.
The funniest thing is I was Googling to see if I could find more articles. The CEO of Delta made the comment about when was the last time you heard of a big outage at Apple. So now they're really rethinking.
Interesting.
So
yeah,
that's huge. And I think they're also part of suing CrowdStrike.
Yes.
So
I think there'll be one of more than one. Might be doing it. It'll be interesting to see how that does play out in court, because technically, they had the fix and then most folks were able to get back up and running. But in this case, I forget how many flights was it?
18,000 worldwide, 120. Nope, that's not right. 1,200 domestically.
Gotcha. Wow. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot for sure. So, okay, well, I'll tell you what, why don't we go ahead and transition into the technical news? And what are we calling that segment?
Our Tech Talks.
Tech Talks. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. So, we would normally, hopefully moving forward, we'll have some questions that will be asked that we can go off of, but we're going to have opportunities to delve into different topics. And just getting us going on this first episode, Lorenzo already has one.
Yeah. So in light of the CrowdStrike issue, my tip for the week is to make and keep frequent backups. All kidding aside, every single DogHouse system we ship includes a piece of software called Acronis True Image, and that allows you to create a complete snapshot of your system weekly, daily, monthly, hourly, if you'd like, even a rolling real-time backup. And if something like CrowdStrike were to happen to your personal system, you could just roll back to a previous backup before the issue, was deployed to your system, and hopefully by that time a fix would be issued, or just disconnected from the network if you don't need it to update.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Maybe on a future episode, we could dig a little deeper into that, very specifically, how we would go about doing an Acronis backup. Right. For our customers, the instructions are included in the quick start guide that we have put together. But what we might be able to do is kind of a step-by-step, add it to the show notes, maybe even tie it into a YouTube video that kind of outlines how to go about doing it. Because, I can't stress enough how important it is to have a backup, and people don't realize it until it's too late more often than not. And rather than be in that boat, I think it'd be good if we can help our listeners out there. But first of all, we're going to be able to point them to some software that works really well. We've been including Acronis with our systems for over a decade. And like I said, it's just been rock solid. So got another thing. Actually, we're going to go ahead and play something right now.
Hi, my name is Brian, and I was wondering if you could please tell me how I go about getting the latest NVIDIA driver for my 4090 video card. Thanks.
Hey, Brian, thanks for sending in your question, and that's going to be pretty easy. You're going to head over to NVIDIA.com, and let me pull this up here on my laptop.
We put Lorenzo on the spot today.
And on NVIDIA.com, under the menu, you'll see an option for drivers. And you can either search manually for your system driver by selecting the product category. For most of our DogHouse Systems users, it's going to be GeForce. Then select your category. And for newer systems, we RTX 40 series. And again, for newer systems, it's going to be Windows 11. And hit find. And that'll bring you to the latest driver download for your GeForce equipped system. And when you click on the download link, you will be able to download either Studio or Game Ready drivers. For most of our users, if you're not using it for a production environment for business, you're going to want the Game Ready driver. And when you download that file and run it, it'll ask you if you want to install GeForce Experience. I would say yes. That'll let you, once that's installed and you're signed in, allow you to update automatically from within GeForce Experience. Again, thanks for calling in, Brian. Good question. Good information to have.
And thanks, Lorenzo, for taking that one. We did not let Lorenzo know that we were doing that. So we wanted to test out the call-in number.
You've always got to be ready for
exactly
tech support.
And that tech support question came compliments of Brian, who actually works with us. I just went up to him and said, hey, Brian, throw out just a random tech support question. And he was kind enough to do that. So voicemails work, and we were able to do it on the fly. So good stuff.
Excellent.
So I think we're about wrapped up here for this first episode. It's a little bit shorter one, but we definitely wanted to get it going. I'll tell you what, Abby, why don't you go through the different ways that our listeners can get in touch with us?
You can email us at podcasts@doghousesystems.com. You can give us a call at
214-810-4347.
Or you can shoot us a message, a DM, on our Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter at DogHouse Systems.
And I believe that would be a wrap for episode number 1. We are excited about all the upcoming episodes, lots of ideas, lots of things that we will be sharing in the near future with you all. Looking forward to some special guests joining us as well. Thanks again for listening in, tuning in, and we will be back next week.